There's been significant demand overseas for U.S. projects.
Yeah.
Because of the fact that we have our securities laws that are pretty tight.
Right.
There's just a ton of interest. We were in South Korea last week, and yeah, they told us they're looking at our project because, they find us U.S. projects to be more transparent, more regulatory friendly. So there is a huge demand for security token projects globally.
That is fascinating.
Yeah.
So, do you think that what a lot of the American companies complain about, which is all of the overbearing, the regulations from the SEC, actually may make them more fundable?
Which is so ironic, Right. Like we complain so much that there's all these barriers and hoops we have to go through, but I mean, the international markets love that. Like, all right, if they can get through with their Reg D, Reg S, whatever it is, they've got to be legit. So, it's a sign of legitimacy to the international markets that want to fund projects here.
What's the climate in Canada, let's say, as far as the regulatory, regime?
The 10 times better than the USA.
Oh, great.
Yeah,
How so?
for sure.
Yeah.
No, because they're allowing the blockchain, STO, cryptocurrency markets to evolve. They're giving guidance. They're allowing companies like ourselves to become licensed investment banks. So the regulatory market is very, very good.
Again, as we come back to these compliance-aware tokens, the centerpiece of this is the ability to map global securities regulations into the behavior of the tokens.
Yes.
Global securities regulations are complex. Each jurisdiction has their own particular rules, so that you can map these in to the tokens. They can change, and the tokens can adapt to the new rule sets important. We're working with the regulators from 2 governments to actually show that we can issue private securities with the jurisdictional rules of each of those governments and trade them between the citizens of those 2 countries. This is showing cross-border trading, decentralized cross-border trading of restricted securities.
Wow.
That is a really big deal, because in the end, it's possible to layer in all the world's frameworks into these same tokens and allow cross-border trading. Currently, only the very biggest financial institutions are capable of these types of trades because they're so complex.
Yes.
This brings it to everybody and allows for global liquidity.
What do you see as particular opportunities in a world where investments can be made in Malta or literally anywhere and have the same access to capital that an American or a Canadian company might have?
Yeah, no, I mean, I think that the global markets tend to be a little bit easier to operate in, mostly because that they didn't have a regulatory agency or their large banks constantly putting out propaganda about how horrible cryptocurrencies are and how bad blockchain is and what kind of a scam it is and things of that sort. So the markets, especially in Asia and in Europe, they are embracing these markets. They are deploying capital at a significant rate. In the U.S., you're seeing the larger deals getting done very easily. The guys that are connected with the guys in Sand Hill Road, and the guys that have already raised billions of dollars for other companies. They can raise. I think that it's skewed that because when you look at how much money is raised out of the U.S., it looks like it's more than the rest of the world. But those are just like $1 billion deals or $2 billion deals that skew the factor. The small to medium-sized guy is getting a better shake and getting funded much easier on the internet in the global markets.
Fascinating. Is there any sort of trend toward or away from companies domiciling in other jurisdictions?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, everybody is moving to places like Malta, Liechtenstein, Estonia, even Switzerland, Bermuda, Caymans. Everybody's avoiding, the USA like the plague because of obviously they've been very heavy-handed in how they've been dealing with these markets, and they've been very, very slow to give guidance and policy and regulations. So. People feel that they're more exposed on a regulatory basis in the U.S. market, so it's just easier to be domiciled on the international markets to where that these smaller countries, or Switzerland isn't small, but these smaller countries are actually embracing, supporting, and promoting that, hey, come here and do your cryptocurrency or security token offerings. We're starting to see just an explosion of security token exchanges opening up every month. So I think that although that this is the early stages of the market, the ICOs are dead because there was regulatory risk, there was no transparency, there was no accountability, and it tended to be a breeding ground for scams.
Yes.
And now we have security token offerings which are
regulated.
They've got complete transparency, they've got accountability, they've got shareholder rights. So you have all the things that an institutional investor would look for when deploying capital into either a company or an asset that they thought was advantageous.